Good morning, children. Let us continue chapter 3, migration. In this chapter, we will do types of migration. So, on the basis of place, migration can be of internal migration and international migration. It can be further classified into rural-urban migration, seasonal migration, planned migration. Then it can be international migration. So, it can be voluntarily, means done by the person's wish, and involuntary migration means the migration which is done by person but with force. On the basis of legal, that is laws, migration can be legal or illegal migration. Now, let us start with the explanation here. Intercontinental migration, the movement of people between two continents. For example, if a person from India moves to Canada or USA, means a person is moving from Asia to North America. So this is intercontinental migration. Intracontinental migration, movement of the person between the different countries of the same continent. Example, person from India, that is Indian, move to Japan, is intracontinental migration. International migration means the movement of a person between the two countries of different continents. Okay, for example, Indians, they move to USA or Canada. This is international migration. Then internal migration is the movement of a people, of person in the same country. For example, if a person from Lucknow moves to Bengaluru, is internal migration. Next migration is rural-urban migration. Because of good job opportunities, better life standard, health opportunities, villagers move to urban areas. This is known as rural-urban migration. And the opposite of it is urban-rural migration. Means after retirement, if a person wants to move from city life to the village life, as he wants to live life with his family, old friends, in a quiet home and pollution-free atmosphere, is known as urban-rural migration. This is generally done by the people who are retired from their jobs and those who are frustrated with the fast urban life. Next is urban to urban migration. Sometimes, children, what happens? A person moves from urban area to the another urban area. For example, a person from Lucknow itself is the urban area, move to the Noida or Bengaluru. Okay, both are urban areas, and as the job opportunities are less, or they get the better job opportunities from Lucknow, better salary from Lucknow. Okay, so they move from urban area to the urban area, means from Lucknow to Bengaluru or Noida, okay, Chandigarh, like this. Next migration is forced or involuntary migration. So this migration is done by a person, that is due to the forced migration, and this is due to the force of government or authorities of a place force people to migrate. for a reason. Next is impelled migration, also known as reluctant migration or imposed migration. So in impelled migration, no one is forced to move, but due to some push factors such as war or hunger or other difficult conditions, at present COVID-19, people decide to leave their working place to their hometown, is known as impelled or reluctant or imposed migration. Next migration is periodic migration, also known as seasonal migration. Here, people move from one place to the other place for a short duration to return back to their hometown. Okay, so this is a cyclic movement. Here, generally, for example, migrant labor, they move from their hometown to the cities where they will get a job, and after achieving their job, they return back. Okay, and this is transhumance, artists खाना बदोश जिसको बोलते हैं आप, ठीक है, और they do this type of migration. Even people who are involved in rearing of animals, they move. Transhumance is the rearing of animals, so they move with their animals to the place where they will find the pasture land, and after having this animals will graze, and means pasture is finished, they will move to the other land. This is what is periodic migration. In military services also, people move from their hometown to the new station where they are posted, and there they relocate for military purpose. Okay, and after some time also, they are further moved to the new station, and then they return back to their home. This is what is children. Next migration is return migration. So here, this migration is voluntarily return of migrants to their original place. And this type of migration is done by young people who move to the cities for work, for better jobs. Then they return to their hometown when they get retired. So they want to spend the rest of their life in their quiet hometown with their family and old friends. Then children, short-term migration and long-term migration. People may consider migrating for good if conditions at their home are threatening. For example, people move for better healthcare facilities if they have some disease that they requires treatment that they can only be received in another place. On the other hand, it can also be temporal in nature. For example, a person may study in another place but may decide to stay for a few years before going back home for good. Next migration is interstate migration. So in this movement of people is from one state or province to the other of the same country because of favorable laws. And all the countries in the world have allowed their citizens to move, to work and to settle from one state to the other within the same country for the development of the country. And this type of migration is very common in India. Next migration is pendulum migration, like this pendulum of the wall clock, which moves continuously from one place to the other place. Okay, so similarly, when people move daily or weekly from their home to the place of work or study, without intention to settle for even a very short period. So they are also known as commuters than migrants. For example, teachers or students. Teachers or students, they go to the school. Teachers for teaching and students for study. So they are known as commuters, and this is pendulum type of migration. Thank you, children.